The location was Omaha, Nebraska. The date was April 24th, 1978. On this day, a person ended up having a heart attack and sadly passed away. However, he left behind a small fortune of $200,000. The problem was that nobody knew who his family was. Could they find the family in time? My name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Welcome to another episode of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. Today, we're going to be hearing the case of Walter Green, also known as Curly. Stay tuned.
We'll be back faster than you can say punky power.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In 1978, Walter Green, who went by the nickname Curly, passed away of a heart attack. He left a lot of money, or $200,000. Nowadays, that's not seen as much at all. But you got to remember, back in 1978, that was a fortune, basically. Were they ever able to find the people, the recipients for this fortune? Let's find out. If you are new to this series, this is basically the portion of the show where I go to the Unsolved Mysteries wiki. And let's see here. I go to the wiki, and my assistant, her name is Jasmine. She will read to us the case. So basically, I'll start here first, though. The real name is unrevealed. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's actually zoom in. Real name is unrevealed. The case is Lost Heirs. The date was April 24th, 1978, and the location is good old Omaha, Nebraska. Okay, so let's zoom out. I know. There we go. Okay, so I will have my secretary read it, or assistant, whatever you like to call her. But anyway, let's go on.
Details. Walter Curly Green was a quiet, frugal resident of a small Omaha, Nebraska apartment. In 1978, he had a heart attack and died while working in his yard. Curly's friends were surprised that he had left behind a fortune of more than $200,000 and that he had even owned the apartment building that he lived in. They were also surprised that he had no known relatives or beneficiaries. 10 years after his death, Curly's fortune remained the largest unclaimed estate in Nebraska history.
And like I said, because of the fact that this was back in 78, I'm pretty sure nowadays unclaimed estates have popped up, and they're probably a lot higher or a lot more expensive than just $200,000. Every time I watch this case and I remember, go over like the wiki here, it is so amazing that for as frugal as life that Curly had, he actually owned that apartment building. I cannot believe that. That's something that always kind of shocks me. Okay, let's continue on. Let's actually go all the way down to here. Come on.
Little is known about Curly's life prior to the age of 7.
Hold on, let's go back here again. Come on. Oh.
Little is known about Curly's life prior to the age of 17, when he hopped a train to Omaha. He ended up in a small farming town called Schuyler. Curly began looking for work in town. He met Al Rominger, a local tavern keeper. Al offered Curly not only a ride, but a home-cooked meal with his family. Al had 2 daughters, Catherine, then 9, and Jessamine. At dinner, Curly was secretive about his personal life, but did say that he was originally from Montana and that his mom and stepfather lived in Denver, Colorado. Curly immediately became smitten with their older daughter, Jessamine. Al found Curly work at the local garage. At the time, the automobile was still a new machine. Soon, he earned enough money to move into a boarding house. Curly and Jessamine began dating, but their relationship was put at a halt in 1917 when Curly enlisted in the army to fight in World War I. Curly's job in the war was to transport dead and wounded to a makeshift army hospital. This experience scarred Curly, but when the war was over, he was eager to return to Schuyler, Nebraska, to see Jessamine. However, when he arrived there, Catherine told him that Jessamine had moved to Omaha and no longer wanted to date him. Curly followed Jessamine to Omaha. He first got a job as a mechanic at a newspaper office and then a night watchman for the Union Pacific Railroad. However, Jessamine eventually married someone else. Curly would never fall in love again.
And I feel kind of bad for the guy. Hold on, let's see here, there. I feel kind of bad for the guy because he went off to war, and then he figured that when he got home, he was going to be able to resume this relationship. And sadly, sometimes, as we know, shit just does not happen like that. Okay, let's go down to here. We'll go through this.
Curly spent the next 60 years alone. He never told anyone who his real family was. His only close friends were Catherine and Riley Marr, his barber and fellow member of the Masonic Lodge. Curly often invited Riley to his apartment. One night, Riley noticed some postcards and pictures displayed in the apartment. One postcard came from Brooklyn, New York, but Curly refused to talk about it. Over the years, Curly amassed his fortune, but kept a secret. Some of his wealth may have come from a rare coin collection. However, Catherine believes that Curly simply saved every penny that he made. He told Catherine that every morning after breakfast, he would put a can on the pilot light, and by the time he would come back for lunch or dinner, it would be just warm enough to eat.
Warm enough to eat. The program sometimes does not catch the entire word. Who are we to basically kind of judge how a person wants to live? As long as that person is not a risk to anyone. If he wants to live like a hermit and amass a small fortune, let him. If he puts a can on the pilot light and he's careful enough, who are we to say anything, you know? But yeah, I mean that's some pretty that's some dedication to how apparently he really loved that Jessamine lady to the point that he never found anybody after 60 years. Holy cow.
Most of Curly's fortune was held in real estate, stocks, and bonds. So far, no legitimate heirs have claimed Curly's estate. In 1986, heir investigator Josh Butler took on the case to locate Curly's heirs. Josh learned from one of Curly's friends that Curly claimed he had a brother who was killed in a shootout. Josh discovered a man named Al Green, who was shot and killed on July 4th, 1921. However, he was unable to find a clear connection between the two men. The main issue was that Al Green's father was a man named Joseph Green, while Curly's father was Harry Albert Green. Josh believes that Curly and Al were actually cousins, not brothers. Josh believes that Curly's actual brother was killed several years
Earlier. That meant to say earlier. And they would think that possibly it could have been a cousin. Well, before a lot of my cousins are now dead, and there were some cousins that I had that me and my cousins would have such close friendship that I would literally consider them a brother, even if they were like a cousin. I still consider them a brother. So I'm wondering if that's what Curly meant about his cousin, that he just considered his cousin to be as close as like a brother. Okay, let's go down to here. Come on.
There is still not much known about Curly's early life and family. He said that he was born in Kendall, Montana. He had a collection of rare gold coins that he may have obtained in Mexico. He received postcards from someone in Brooklyn, New York. He claimed to have had a brother killed in a shootout. He stated on a 1938 birth certificate that Albert Harry Green, born in England, and Maureen Green, born in Latvia, were his parents. None of these relatives have been TR.
Have been traced. God, I love this program. Sometimes it just does not want to read that last word. Okay, so I will continue on here. I just want to say thank you to Jasmine for joining us today, and we'll see her next time. Okay, so here I'll read this final part. Finally, at Curly's funeral, a mysterious wreath of flowers were sent. A card came with the flowers, signed Miss Joel Greener of Denver, Colorado. It is possible that Miss Greener may have a clue to Curly's past, however. This case remains unsolved. Extra notes. This case first aired on the November 2nd, 1988 episode. I was just 2 days short of turning 7 years old when this case first debuted on television. Results. Unresolved. Josh Butler now believes the stories Curly told about his past were exaggerations or lies, and that he was actually from Wisconsin. He believes that Curly and 7 of his siblings grew up in a Wisconsin orphanage. However, a lack of records from the orphanage prevented him from tracking down any errors. No errors were found as a result of the broadcast. Oh, fuck this. Anyway. Results of the broadcast, it is believed that the money has since gone to the state. And I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I will be honest. When they say it's gone to the state, it doesn't go to the state. It goes to a mayor, or possibly a governor, or even to the president of the United States or something. I refuse to believe, call me cynical if you want, I refuse to believe that any money that is, found like this actually goes to help the people if the money goes to the state. No, it probably went to the mayor or to the governor, and they spent that $200,000 like that. It was gone within like 2 seconds. They either bought drugs or they bought a fast car. I highly doubt that our leaders actually do anything for other people. I refuse to believe that. But anyway. With that little rant out of the way, can you tell I do not trust any sort of a government official? I wonder why, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder why. Do not trust anybody. DTA. Okay, so we actually got we got a couple of Find the Graves here, ladies and gentlemen, so we will take a quick look at this one. Okay, so we have Walter Curly Green. Now, what is... Oh, veteran. That's what the visa... Okay. Date of birth was March 22nd, 1895. Oh, my God. That's one thing I love about some of these older cases from Unsolved Mysteries, because some of the participants or the people that these cases are based around, some of these people have been gone, for over 100 years. Well, he was born over 100. Can you believe that? Holy shit! Let's see here. His date of death was April 24th, 1978. He was 83. They believe that he was also born in Fergus County, Montana, USA. Date of death, or the location was Omaha, Douglas County, Nebraska, USA. He was buried at the Rose Lawn Memorial Park in Columbus, Platte County, Nebraska, USA. And let's see here. Let's go to photos, shall we? Sadly, it doesn't even mention any family members. It looks like it just talks about it's the Unsolved Mysteries thing, basically. Okay, so it looks like we have a picture here of Walter in his Masonic gear. Another picture of that. Okay, this could have been he was young, definitely younger. I'm guessing it was just after he came back from the war, possibly. Here is his final resting place. He was a I think CPL means corporal in the U.S. Army, World War I. And then the register's report. I'm guessing it talks about, like, I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. I'm not sure what I'm looking at there. Okay, let's continue on. Registration card. Okay. And sadly, that is about it. I wish there was actually more, but there isn't. But we do have Albert Green now. If I remember correctly, I think they said that this was like a relative or something. So let's take a look at this. So we have date of birth for Albert Green, 1879. Holy shit! Wow. I'm sorry. I know I'm kind of gushing over like how old some of these people. Like I said, it's just mind-boggling. We are in the 21st century, ladies and gentlemen, and this person was alive in the early 19th century and the early part of or late 19th century, early 20th century. That just tells you how much time has really passed us by. Wow, holy shit. Date of birth, 1879, England. Date of death was July 5th, 1921. He was between the age of 41 and 42. His location of death was Roy, Fergus County, Montana, USA. He was buried at Roy Cemetery, Roy, Fergus County, Montana, USA. Okay, so let's take a look at the pictures here. Oh, well, we really don't have much here. It's just another, like... this is the certificate of death for Roy. And that's about it. So, yeah, I wish I could have actually, said that there was a lot more here, but sadly there wasn't. And sadly the estate that Walter left behind, sadly nobody was able to claim it, and because of this, they the money basically went to, like I said, probably went to the governor or to a mayor, probably up in Seattle or Tacoma or something, and they wasted the money without even caring who it was that that earned all that money. To them, they just saw money. But to people like you and me, people who actually care about these cases, we see Walter Green and we see a person. We just don't see the money that he leaves behind. But that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. I will be right back with my final thoughts.
Women in all walks of life agree. Nothing fits, walks, or feels better on a foot than a naturalizer shoe. Like this low heel wedge at $29.99. The leather skimmer for $32.99. Or the classic low heel leather pump, $34.99. So run, don't walk to Emporium Capwell for the Naturalizer Shoe event now through Saturday, March 18th. It's the most natural thing to do.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. This is kind of more the somber portion of the show. This is basically where I give you my final thoughts, and I just, where I kind of reflect about the case we just heard. It's kind of sad. One day you're fighting to defend the country in World War I. You're doing the best you can. And the next day, basically, you end up passing away of a heart attack. It's kind of sad. And honestly, I'm kind of in that same position. I do have some family left, but like 99% of all the family in my area where I live, they're gone. I have some uncles and a couple aunts and whatnot sprinkled throughout the country, but everybody is basically dead. And and here I am. I live by myself. I have a nice paying job. I save up money. But yeah, I can see a lot of myself, or a lot of Walter Green and myself, basically, he lived a very rigid, life, and I kind of do that the same also. I need to have that schedule. And, ultimately, we're every one of us, you, me, your family, everybody, we're getting one day closer to the end. And who knows, my end may be, tonight. It could be right after I'm done recording this. Or it could be, 10 years from now. Who knows? We don't know when the end actually arrives. But yeah, so, I look at this and I just think I see so much of myself in this case because of the fact I have saved up a good amount of money. And, there could be a day that I do pass away pretty soon. And because I really don't have any family left, that'll be it. I'll just become like another Walter Green. Granted, I haven't done anything as brave as go to war, but I like to think that some of the things that I do, with like my job, how I help people and everything, I like to think that that's my own way of helping our country also. But yeah, so, if you're watching this, make sure you give that special somebody a hug, because you do not know what can happen within the next minute. But that is about it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. Let me pull up the, let's see what case is coming up next. We are almost done with, this episode, or this episode of Unsolved Mysteries. We are currently on season 1, episode 6, and so far we've done the Son of Sam and the Walter Green cases. Next time we will be doing the Harold and Thelma Swain case. I'll be honest, I cannot recall that case at all. So what I may do is I'm probably going to go to the Unsolved Mysteries YouTube page and pull up that case. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you liked what you watched, which I hope you did, feel free to click on that like button, click on that subscribe and the bell. I have all my contact information, all my social media accounts and everything in the description. Feel free to drop me a line if you want. Anyway, my name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Wishing you all a great day. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.